Hello, everybody. Welcome to Story Trading. Today is usually our happy hour, 4:30 p.m. every Wednesday, where it's an open session for people to collaborate with each other live on Zoom. We will do that today, right after this formal last-minute presentation. I'm going to be giving a presentation on a stock called GAIA, G-A-I-A, as a story trade idea. But first, Story Trading is not an investment advisor. Investing in securities involves significant risk of loss. Again, this presentation is being recorded, will be made available to our VIP members and subsequently posted on social media. For those of you who are new to the community, what's in a story trade? Story trading is the practice of understanding market pricing through the lens of the four pillars, which are fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. We currently collaborate on WhatsApp and on Zoom, and we're looking to scale that experience to our own app where you can discover, collaborate, and validate market moving information. So make sure to go to our website and sign up for our wait list. Now, most of our ideas, all of them really come from a collaborative process from our community members. I am one of the community members, and I will on occasion make presentations which get recorded there under VIP picks. So we've had a lot of interest in story trading recently with a lot of new ideas coming in. So if you're interested in presenting your own stock here, please submit that idea to storytrading.com/submit VIP, and we'll evaluate that and get back to you. And if it passes our vetting process, you can present that to our community as a VIP pick. Now, the last story trade idea I gave was air test systems. On July 8th, made a video at $2.74. So that was a trade idea, a little bit different than our VIP picks. But that was recorded and it's being tracked on the spreadsheet. I still have that pick open. It says 2350, but it closed like, I don't know, today 2450 or something. So it's like up 800%. So here we go. Here's my next pick. I mentioned it just a second ago. Now, don't get excited. This does not mean the stock's going up 1,000%. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not going up that much. I don't think that's the potential on this one, but I think it's a great trade idea. Ticker symbol GAIA. Alerted the community on WhatsApp today when the price is around 1050 of this story trade idea. So as we get into the official presentation, I want to remind people that we're going to be looking at sentiment, catalyst, fundamentals, and technicals to understand this, right? That's the chart. Where's it going next? What's the history behind the chart? Why will it go up now? These are the kind of things we want to discover through crowdsourced research and social collaboration. So I don't have all of the answers in terms of the whole past history, but I think I do have a good idea of where it's going next based on the four pillars. So let's get into that. The first pillar, fundamentals. So just quick overview of what they do. GAIA is a digital video subscription service. They create content, proprietary content, unique content that is streamed on their services. Their services are sold through channel partners and smart TVs and things like that. They focus on yoga, alternative health, holistic healing, nutrition. It's monthly recurring revenue. They're steadily growing. They're profitable. And you can look here, some of the financial information that their revenue is consistently growing. Their earnings are consistently growing. You can see their cash and debt position down here is in good shape. So in terms of financially, it is the fundamentals. How much is it worth fundamentally? What would a fundamentalist say? So we collaborate with in our community with fundamentalists and find people look at financial models. And this chart comes from Mark Gomes, who also did this in collaboration with other people he collaborates with, who focuses on financials and fundamentals. So this is a risk reward chart he looks at, and you can see on the value channel here, he thinks at the top of that line right now, as of today, is around 17. So he thinks just based on the financials alone, it could be worth as high as $17 today. And I believe the stock is around $11. Okay. So that's the fundamental picture. Now let's go to the next pillar, catalysts. We had earnings on November 1st. In that earnings, we learned that they had 22% revenue growth year to date. Q3 EBITDA, remember this number of $4 million in Q3, EBITDA margin of 20%, fifth straight quarter of positive earnings and cash flow. Also, it's a $189 million enterprise value. So you're looking at a roughly 12 ratio of enterprise value to EBITDA. But then we had another catalyst the next day. November 1st was just 2 days ago, Monday. And the stock didn't really move on the fundamentals, didn't move on the financial performance, right? Now, what happened the next day, though? I'll get to the second catalyst in just a second. But first, let's go to the next pillar, sentiment. So fundamental investors, this is a stock, GAIA, that has been collaborated in our community for 1 or 2 years. We have a specific room for it, GAIA Research Group, even though it was never officially presented as a VIP pick. There was a lot of interest in this stock, just no one ever stepped up to the plate and scheduled themselves to officially present it as a VIP pick. So it hasn't been tracked as such to date. But there's a lot of people, 80 or so people in one of the rooms on GAIA, been talking about this. And there's always a lot of frustration. How come the stock's at $10? How come it's not at 15, 17, 20? What's going on, right? So fundamentalists are frustrated at the price action. So what I'd like to do is to listen to everybody, right? That's part of the story trading method, is to respect the market pricing, right? Respect what other people are saying, what their positions are, what their bear theses are, what they're excited about, what they're not excited about. I love to do that. I listen to everybody. Everybody's opinion counts. So in listening to everybody, I heard a few negative things, which could explain why the price wasn't higher. Here are the things I've heard. The TAM, total addressable market, may be too small because this is a niche service. Not interesting to a lot of investors. Investors are interested in large total addressable markets. Their fringe content may keep some ESG buyers away. Now, I don't know how true that is, that their content is so fringe, but it's a perception. Their content, some of their content is alternative medicine, alternative healing. Perhaps in there, they probably had some content about, vaccine hesitancy or anti-vax. I heard that some of their content has some conspiracy theory stuff in there. So that's something that could keep ESG investors away. Environmental social governance. They're thinking, I don't want to support such a company that they have this fringe content, strange content that they're selling. And then here's the third thing I heard. Growth is just too slow and steady. Where's the hockey stick potential? Where's the growth? What's going on? So to me, this was enough to explain, right, why the stock was trading below, quote unquote, fundamental value. You see, I don't believe that the market is inefficient and people are just stupid. I believe everyone's opinion counts. And when you see other market participants not buying the stock, you research and you find out why, and this is why. So what happened next? Yesterday, I said there was another catalyst. What happened next? The next day after earnings, boom. You know who that is? That's Demi Lovato. She has 118 million followers on Instagram. GAIA put out a press release, which was curiously a little bit not noticed, right? So I think that's going to change very fast. But in any case, they said she's a brand ambassador. They partnered with Demi Lovato, okay? And this, to me, is a very, very significant turn of events, which will unlock the fundamental value. So those fundamentalists saying, hey, this stock should be at least 17. I've heard some people saying it should be 20 to 25, if it has potential to go higher, right? So this is what you need to unlock it. Why? Is this just feelings? Oh, Demi Lovato's pretty, or is it just nonsense? No, it's meaningful. There's a reason why this is going to unlock the fundamental value. Let's look at why. So go back to those bear points and we'll analyze them one by one. The TAM may be too small, too niche. Okay. Well, now they've partnered with Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato is not some obscure, weird celebrity. She's a mainstream pop culture icon. She has 118 million followers on Instagram. Not only would she not align herself with something that's too niche, but the company GAIA, in making a partnership and bringing her up as a brand ambassador, they could be signaling to the market and to the investors that they're trying to go more mainstream, that maybe there's going to be content in the future which is going to appeal more to the mass market. So this addresses one of those bear points that the TAM may be too small, too niche. Maybe not true, guys. Now, fringe content may keep some ESG buyers away. Again, similar to what I just spoke about above, right? Demi Lovato, again, is a mainstream pop culture icon. If she's behind something, it's not going to be seen as fringe content anymore. And again, GAIA may go into other content that may be more mainstream. And here's a great point. The next one, growth is too slow and steady. No hockey stick potential. I love this one. I think that this brand ambassadorship with Demi Lovato, and I failed to say one thing. Let me go back to here. Inside the press release, Demi Lovato said, I am excited to be one of GAIA's first celebrity ambassadors. I am excited to be one of GAIA's first celebrity ambassadors. So we go back to this third point. So people who maybe saw this company as too conservative, no explosive growth potential, just slow and steady, maybe now the company is showing you they're willing to do some aggressive things. Now, whether it's bringing on other celebrity brand ambassadors, or maybe it's some other stuff, but it shows you that the company may be ready to embark on efforts to have a more hockey stick growth pattern in the future. So these are the things which I think totally turn sentiment on its head. And now you start to get alignment between the catalysts. We just had 2 events this week, the sentiment turning here, and then you align that with the fundamentals and then the technicals. I'll talk about the technicals in a second. And that's how you unlock value, right? That's how you say the fundamentals who are screaming, this should be worth 17, 20. You're not going to get it until these other qualitative factors are taken care of. And this week, I believe you had an inflection point with these qualitative factors for the stock to start trading at least at its fundamental value. And this is where things can get really exciting, because then the fundamentalists are kind of perplexed when it's too low, but they also don't get it when it goes too high. So there's a potential that this overshoots this value channel that Mark Gomes put up here, and you can get much bigger returns, but that may depend on further catalysts and further sentiment, which can impact people's perception of the growth profile and the total addressable market. Now let's go to that 4th pillar, technicals. We consulted with our favorite technician, Rexman74 on Twitter. He gave us a couple charts. Here's the first view here. He says, this is the short view on the monthly chart. I think the current breakout circled can take this to the 12s for the month. Okay, well, we're not that far there. Moved from 1040, 1030 today to 11, saying it could take us to the 12s for the month. Now let's look at the next chart. Give us another chart here. This is the long view monthly chart. Sometime in the future, when the 1213s break out at the blue line, it should proceed to break the all-time trend at the white line. We're looking at several months before that happens, so he thinks. We'll see. We may need to update the chart again later. So that's the technical analysis from Rex. And so, the view at StoryTrading is that technicals is a lagging indicator. And when you look at sentiment, catalysts, and fundamentals, these are the pillars that decide, is the support line going to hold or not? If you're just a technical trader, you get to a support line and 50% of the time you'll be right and 50% of the time you'll be wrong, whether it breaks support or not. You get to a resistance line and it's guesswork. Sometimes you'll be right and sometimes you'll be wrong. But when you look at these other 3 pillars, sentiment, catalysts, and fundamentals, you can predict with much greater accuracy, is it going to break that or not? So I think with the other 3 pillars aligned, these lines that Rex is giving us, I think there's a good chance it's going to break these resistance lines, and then we'll consult back with Rex and say, hey, now that these resistance lines broke, where's our target? That'll help us trading our entries and exits. So that's the story trade idea. This is a trade for me. It's not like a long-term investment. I'm going to stick in my IRA for 10 years. I got in this today at around 1040 or so, or between 1035 and 1050. Actually, I ended up even buying more at 1067 as it was going up. So I'm going to hold this for a swing trade period. I expect the market to catch up with this news. I expect the sentiment to change with this Demi Lovato news as it starts circulating. I expect to see a technical breakout, and then we'll consult with Rex to see where our exit is. And that's my story trade idea. And with that, guys, I'm going to take some questions. We will change the security settings. If you'd like, you can unmute yourself. You can raise your hand. You can throw something in chat. In the meantime, I want to let people know we do have a Gaia research group if you're a VIP member. And we have lots of events coming up. You can see that on our website. You can follow us on YouTube and on Twitter. And actually what we're going to do at this point, we're going to turn off our recording and keep the Q&A off the record for our members. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening to today's presentation of the Gaia story trading idea. Thank you, everyone.